the house. Welcome back to Bringthehousepodcast. I'm your host, Marshon Fairley, along with my co-host and the star, Darren T. DT. How are you doing today?
What's going on, my brother? I'm excited for another show. We got some action-packed topics.
That we do. We do have some action-packed segments here for you today on Bring the House Podcast. We're going to go ahead and get into the development of new players and college players, these great college athletes. We're going to get into the development scheme, scouting of these players, and how that affects the NFL and the front office. With that being said, we're going to get into the question here. Would you say teams ruin great college players, or do they just forget how to play when they get to the league? Or is it a league problem? I do think it's a league problem, personally. I think that the scouting in the league has always been a problem, as well as in recent years, the development of players have come under fire.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at the player development, as of recent, it's been a big topic on quarterback development because of what's happening with quarterbacks like Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. Mac Jones, we kind of knew what he was when he came in, but sometimes Mac Jones in the Belichick system, things of that nature. Also Trey Lance. So a lot of, like I said, the quarterback development has come under fire here with the lack of development. We see as we go on from players who have been incubated, developed, things of that nature, such as Patrick Mahomes, who sat behind Alex Smith, or such as Jordan Love, who sat behind Aaron Rodgers. Now, I do know a lot of teams aren't afforded, good quarterbacks for players to sit behind, but there's a higher likelihood of your quarterback playing well or being a good quarterback, if not great, when he sits behind a veteran quarterback. And a lot of people, unfortunately, with the league, they just get thrown to the wolves. I feel Justin Fields did get thrown to the wolves. And the same thing was with the young man from Carolina last year.
Bryce Young.
They're throwing these young men to the wolves. They don't have time to really get acclimated in the system they're in. They don't have time to learn in NFL and how fast things move, to learn how to write things that nature. They're just saying, hey, go perform. And like you said, 44% of those quarterbacks become bust, unfortunately. So I feel like the player development for quarterbacks is very poor in the NFL, as well as O-line. You have a team, and I did some research, you have a team like the Philadelphia Eagles who develop great linemen. They had the number one ranked offensive line last year. I know their offense was trash. That's for other reasons. But they had the number one ranked offensive line last year. And they had 2 6th-round picks and below on their team that turned out to be great players. One is a Hall of Famer, Jason Kelce, Hall of Famer. That man was a 6th-round pick. Look at him, Hall of Famer. They also had a young man by the name of Jordan Mailata, 7th-round pick. The development for Mr. Mailata is insane. Big props to the Eagles offensive line coach. They're basically the offensive line youth of the NFL. Bring the house.